Listen to how this textbook describes slavery.
The master often had a barbecue or a picnic for his slaves. Then they had a great frolic. Even while working in the cotton fields, they sang songs.
That's from History of Georgia, a textbook published in 1954 that was taught across junior high schools in Georgia for decades. That sort of language is part of an intellectual movement called the Lost Cause. Two basic tenets: the glorification of Confederate soldiers who died for a cause they believed in, the belief that slavery was a benevolent institution, and maybe most importantly, that slavery was not the root cause of the war. Blame the United Daughters of the Confederacy. The UDC was founded in Nashville in 1894 to preserve Confederate culture for generations to come. The women who made up the group descended from elite antebellum families, and they used their social and political clout to spread the pro-Southern version of the war as real history. You've probably seen their efforts to honor the Confederacy, but maybe you didn't know it was the UDC. They're the ones who covered the Southern landscape with memorials for Confederate leaders and soldiers. They used their fundraising and lobbying skills to pressure local governments into erecting monuments in prominent public spaces like courthouses and state capitals. By the early 20th century, the UDC had 100,000 members, and chapters spread all over the country, but mostly in former Confederate states.
There's a rhetoric around monuments that we want to get this thing built before all of that generation has died off, and the reason we want it is to teach future generations about those men.
Central UDC objective is shaping how children think about the war and their Southern heritage. One of their most powerful tools? Textbooks.
Yes, slavery was a very hot topic back then, I guess you could say, even 20 years prior to that, even. Especially in the Kansas-Missouri border states, the abolitionists and all that went on out there. The war was fought more, states' rights started everything.
A lot of people don't even understand about the war to start with. It didn't start over slavery. It started over, the North had all the equipment and they got ticked off at the South because the South was selling their goods to England.
Celebrating your history, to have your Confederate flags and these Confederate statues is disrespecting me and putting me in a more victimized state by having to watch you celebrate what ultimately was built to harm me.